Oh, Master Green Bug. Oh, here we go. Hello everyone, my name's James. This is Romancing Saga 2, which is Square Enix's latest effort at reintroducing a classic old franchise to mobile players and whatnot. So, here we go. I have just started my very first attack. I did play through this bit already, but I'm kind of going back to the beginning just to show you what to expect when you fire up the game. So, these are all my characters who are on the right hand side of the screen. I'm choosing my attacks. I'm swiping up and down on the left hand side of the screen. Let's do a Sidewinder. I'm tapping on the right hand side to confirm, and then tapping on the B to start firing. Having charged up all my attacks, they are now going to execute their attacks one by one. There we go. That music is basically an inversion of the Final Fantasy music. Instead of going it goes it's almost exactly the same, but flipped on its head. I'm controlling him by just moving my left thumb around the screen, up, down, left, right. I can avoid these attacks, these creatures, by kind of like ducking past them, which is quite neat. So it's kind of an active encounter system rather than a random one. Oh no, I've been attacked by some miser bunnies. Those are the stats. Tap the screen. Okay, here we go. Let's try a double cut. So I'm going to double cut from Leon onto that top rat. And then a longsword attack from whoever that was onto the top rat. Bear is going to try the knee split, also on the top rat. And James, oh good, strong name that, is going to do just a straight up attack on the lower one, because I bet the top one will be dead by then. And finally Teresa, launching another Sidewinder at the bottom one. Here we go, now it'll all play out. So they get little animations, the characters themselves. The creatures don't really have much. They just sort of stand there, and when they attack, you just get like a flash on the screen. The creatures don't leap out that much. A couple of them do, but I don't know. It seems a bit like undercooked. Now, this is one of the old RPGs from like the SNES era, and the graphics have been spruced up a little bit. The pixel art is sharper. It does look better than it used to, and they've done a reasonable job of transferring the control system over, because obviously you ain't got a controller, so the swiping up and down and the tapping on the right of the screen, it feels natural. It works just fine. There's been a lot of these Final Fantasy style, old-fashioned Square Enix RPGs appearing, because Square's got a huge back catalogue of these things it can pull from, and it always charges a lot. The reason I'm showing you this game today is because 10,000 crowns, yeah, 100,000 rather. It's because it costs a lot. This is one of those kind of £12, £13 downloads, or $20 this will cost you, and it's good to, show you what you're going to get for your money. I mean, look at this bunny. He's hovering in midair with his foot stuck out. And when he does do an actual attack, which I'll show you in a minute, he kind of doesn't really do anything. He just hovers. But presumably, you're in this, if you've downloaded it, because you are a proper fan of the original series. Now, I am not familiar with this one. I know about Dragon Quest. I know plenty about Final Fantasy. I do not know about Romancing Saga. This didn't cross my path. But upon picking it up, it was an immediate like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. This is, I've played Final Fantasy. I know how this works. I don't know how much of the story is like the core of the game. RPGs obviously usually story focused, so it might have an amazing one. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this one. I'm not. I was just kind of curious to see what you get for your money and how it plays, and it's a very, very familiar classic JRPG cycle, frankly. That's how this plays out. Let's see if I can get this treasure from this guy. Run! Oh well. Go and attack anyway. Two of the things. Tortaras. So I guess your interest in this game, if you're watching, is going to very much depend on A, whether you remember this franchise the first time around, and you're like, oh, classic, this is like my favourite game, I got it on mobile, yeah! Or whether you just love JRPGs, especially Square Enix ones, in whatever form they take, in which case, you gobble these things up and you're going to immediately feel on safe ground. Like, I know what's going on here, this is exactly what I come to expect from this kind of thing. It doesn't feel like it's doing anything new. It's unusual that you line up all your attacks first, instead of attacking one by one. So it's kind of queuing them up and then you watch it play out, whereas in Final Fantasy and stuff you tend to just choose your attack, and then Tifa will attack, and then choose your next one, and Cloud will attack, and that's how it works. But this is a queuing system. Apart from that, very similar. Though obviously, I have played further than this, and this is just the intro bit, but it's not done anything particularly devastatingly special. I presume a magic system is going to appear and become nice and complicated, so there's more to go from there. Ooh, the Chris knife. Let's go to the menu and see what I can do in here. So we've got the different characters. Attributes, inventory, equipment. So let's see if I can equip that thing I just picked up. That might be fun. Let's go for Leon. I've got the steel sword there. I've got the option to use the steel sword or the balm. That's all they can use. Alternative weapon is a flail. He uses that as well. The armor. Ah, the crisp knife. That's what it was. It was a necklace thing. So I could swap. Oops, I said back when I shouldn't do. I could swap the silver ring for the crisp knife. There we go. I'd like to know what that item actually does, though. So perhaps in the inventory it will actually tell me. Ward sleep. There you go. So it gives you the lowdown on all the items you've collected. Spell infos and stuff like that. Again, it's pretty standard. I've seen these things before. I think we all have. It controls fine. It hasn't got one of those superimposed virtual sticks. You're just kind of mooching about. Just dragging your thumb wherever you want to go. That's perfectly fine. Is that it? Like, can I get out of here now? I can. Oh, hello. And there we go. The overworld. Let's go to Avalon. We'll see what's there. Hey, hey! The conquering hero returns. I killed a bunch of weird looking gecko things. Who wants to touch me? He looks well excited. Dun, 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 dun. I do have a big soft spot for all that old school music from the 16-bit games. I can't really, separate it in my head. It just brings back lovely, warm, nostalgic feelings. Gerard, are you hurt? No, I'm good. Slightly, as always, iffy translations. You know that this is going to happen by now. And presumably some terrible thing's going to happen to the world, and God will appear, and I will have to fight God because it's Jrpg. But you know what? That's fine. If you download something called Romancing Saga 2 with the artwork that it's got, you know what you're in for. This is what you asked for, so you can't complain. Father used her as an excuse to break our conversation. Don't do anything too reckless. As if I would do anything too reckless. And I'm out. And I can charge about this lovely little top-down castle. Well, I do like. Look at the floors. It's nice. Nice art direction. Remove heavy armor. If you're going to be let in. No. I'm just going to charge about here for a spell. Talk to some NPCs. Or you. Oi, chat. Please do not push yourself too hard. Oh, thanks. I appreciate your concern for my well-being. Hey, dude, stop walking into a bar. Why are you walking into a bar constantly? Luckily, this man's here to give me tips on my combat. That's very helpful. Thank you very much. Yo, guard. Sup. Salute. Yeah, boy. You know it. Ah. So, in summation, Jrpg. You know what to expect. If you're familiar with the game, you might absolutely love it. It's perfectly playable. I don't really have the time to spend 60 hours on it at the moment, but it's fine. It appears to be working in the way that it should, so that's all we can say for the time being. But if you wanted to go and grab it and you're a super fan, it's out right now, iPhone, iPad. Say it costs about $20 or $13, $14, so do make sure it's the kind of thing you're into before you buy it. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. This video is brought to you by AppSpy, in association with MMX Hill Climb, the raucous physics racer that's available for free on iPhone, iPad, and Android devices right now.